Now we have come to the most excited part of our program today, that is the launch of our Mastering the Shloka. Just to give a brief intro, so we have with us His Grace Jagjiv Jagannath Prabhu, and he will take us through the Mastering the Shloka. Initially, he'll speak, then simultaneously this will be translated into Hindi by His Grace Tulsi Prabhu. We welcome both Tulsi Prabhu and Jagan Prabhu. Jagan Prabhu, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, is it a simultaneous translation or I'll run through and Tulsi Prabhu will brief? That will be better, Prabhu.
Simultaneous we plan, Prabhu.
It'll break the rhythm. I think let me speak first and then Tulsi Prabhu can add. That will be better.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to the organizers for launching such a wonderful program. Soon we will see so many devotees will be learning, understanding the shlokas, and also trying to implement them as their life lessons in their day-to-day activities. Few decades back, Nanda Kumar Prabhu had launched the Kirtan movement in Damodar Desh. Step by step, that grew with support of several devotees who were very adept in doing Kirtans. And now we have hundreds of devotees who can do Kirtans. Some well-known Kirtaniyas joined to further give boost to the Damodar Desh Kirtana Yajna. For want of time, I'll only give few names respectfully. Sarup Damodar Prabhu, Nitai Pran Prabhu, Harinam Anand Prabhu, Harigopal Prabhu, Pundrik Prabhu, Sham Prabhu, Parikshit Prabhu, Raghuvir Krishna Prabhu, and so many others, and also so many Matajis as well. I see a similar results to this Mastering the Shloka program will give to Damodaresh. Within years, we'll see devotees greet each other with Hare Krishna and followed with the Shloka. So I come to somebody and say, I got promotion, then he'll immediately say, Prabhu, 927, yet karoshi yadashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat, et tapasasi konte yat mat tat kuru swamadarpanam. 927, Prabhu, please remember and do your duty. Sometimes some devotees may have some issues and during the seva, and one devotee may do a lot of mistakes, and the other devotee can come pouncing on him. Why did you do this mistake? And that Prabhu who did the mistake very coolly accept that mistake and says, Prabhu, remember, Srimad Bhagavatam 10:16-39. Namastubhyam Bhagavate Purushaya Paramatmane Bhuta Vasaya Bhutaya Paraya Paramatmane. Prabhu, this is quoted in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nagapatni's prayers. Krishna accepted their prayers. He has forgiven Kalia. So you are a Krishna devotee. You also have to forgive me. This is how the conversations will go as we go on to this program. So for example, I am signing up for this program immediately after the launch. I hope there are no prerequisites and pre-qualifications to join the program. Even if they are, I think age-wise, the senior citizens, material age-wise senior citizens like me will have some exemptions. Organizers, I'm telling you right now, if you do not have such exemptions, I have to use my Vastavi Srival Prabhu to get in. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to gate crash into this program because I know its value. On a serious note, this program to Damodar Desh has got two very, very important perspectives. One, Sloka recitation was the forte of our founding father of Damodar Desh, His Grace Mahamani Krishna Prabhu. He thrived on preaching, he thrived in his preaching through the mastery of shlokas and more so by cross-referencing them. Sriola Prabhu and Parameshwar Gaur Prabhu were his good students of that process and school of thought. And that's what we see them when they preach, when they talk, how they very tactfully intersperse the shlokas. I'm sure Mani Prabhu will be very happy to see this program launched. It is our way to pay the gratitude to our very dear father and grandfatherly figure who made an indelible mark in many of us, particularly the new members of the congregation at the early days of Damodar Desh. Second most important thing about this program, which I like it more than the first one, is that this program is getting conceived and mostly it will be run by the second generation of spirited, talented, young devotees and who fully know the potential of digitalization. I wish them all the best. I'll be very grateful to be part of the program to render any service that they give me, if at all they give me. Books are basis, preaching is essence. These are the two of the four powerful lines that Srila Prabhupada has described what is ISKCON. So in this context, learning shlokas helps us doing our bit to be aligned to these vision statements of our dear founder Acharya. Some of these shlokas that we learn, internalize, will become guiding lights in our lives. They become very much part of our lives, and they'll help us in our spiritual life and also material life as well. Just for an example, I want to share that in 2012, by the time 2012 came, my life was going very well. All that what I wanted to achieve, little bit, I was already achieving without any major upfield. But suddenly, whole of my life turned into topsy turvy. And in order to face that, unable to face that, I became very negative, started finding faults with others, and frequently used to get into the playing the victim mode and by blaming others for my situation. At that time, thanks to our Shastric studies teacher, His Grace Radhika Nagar Prabhu, I got one shloka into my life, and that changed my perspectives. It helped me stabilize my life. It helped me both spiritually and materially. Even after that, those upfield days, I still continue to face a lot of upfield times in my life. Sometimes there are situations where you know that you have to feel bad, and sometimes you know that there are situations that you can feel good. But sometimes you are put in a situation where you don't know whether you have to be happy or you have to be sad. So these are the situations where some of the shlokas that you have learned will help you to be on ground. And that particular shloka which Radhika Nagar Prabhu taught became my lifeline, guiding light for my life, which helped me in so many ways. That comes in 10:14:8, Tatte no kampam susamikshamano. There in this shloka, Brahmaji tells, my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your causeless mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering your respectful obeisances within his heart, words and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim. The shloka basically tells that we must take the responsibility for what we are going through, what we get, without blaming others, and while doing so we should be devoted to the God. I am sure through this program you will also get to know so many shlokas like this that will change your perspective and make you a better person. My personal suggestion is that for us in ISKCON, it is not just by hearting the shloka alone that is important. We must endeavor to understand the meaning and be able to match to the context. I thank the organizers who have kindly given me this opportunity to speak about this wonderful program called Mastering the Shlokas. All the best and Happy New Year and a great launch and a great success to this program. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Jagjeet Jagannath Prabhu. Just wanted to request if you have 1 minute, or we can do this after Tulsi Govind Prabhu speaks, where you can give some of your practical tips for learning a shloka and how you learned any of these shlokas that you learned, some practical tips, so all our students can actually apply this to their shloka learning journey.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah, Tulsi Prabhu, over to you.
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम सब लोगों को मेरा प्रणाम। मुझे कहा गया है कि जो हिज ग्रेस जगजीव जगन्नाथ प्रभु बोलेंगे आज के इस नए प्रोग्राम को जो हम लॉन्च करने वाले हैं उसको मैं हिंदी में अनुवाद करूं, परंतु उन्होंने इतना अच्छा लंबा भाषण दिया कि मैं तो पकड़ ही नहीं पाया वो क्या क्या बोले। बट उन्होंने जो कुछ कहा इंग्लिश में, मैं जितना मेरे को याद है मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा, परंतु मैं ये भी बताना चाहूंगा कि आज का ये जो प्रोग्राम है कितना महत्वपूर्ण है जो हम लॉन्च करने वाले हैं। या ये हमारे दामोदर देश का एक अभिन्न अंश है श्लोका पढ़ना। हमारे जो इस्कॉन के जो संस्थापक आचार्य हमारे यहाँ के दामोदर देश के, जिन्होंने दामोदर देश में ये प्रचार शुरू किया था, हमारे इस महामणि कृष्ण प्रभु, श्री वल्लभ प्रभु, नंद कुमार प्रभु के पिताश्री, लगभग 3 दशक पहले। क्या उन्होंने ये प्रोग्राम तभी लॉन्च किया था, उनका ये फेवरेट प्रोग्राम था कि बच्चों को और बड़ों को, माता जियों को टेलीफोन के माध्यम से भी श्लोका सिखाना। और वो ये बहुत प्रेम से कहते थे, क्या वो प्रेम से कहा करते थे, आई एम सो सॉरी, वो बड़े प्रेम से कहा करते थे, अगर आपके जीवन में श्लोका है तो शोका नहीं होगा कभी भी। Where there are shlokas, there cannot be shokas. तो उन्होंने ये लॉन्च किया था और वो हमको सिखाया करते थे। जैसे उन्होंने जगजीवन प्रभु ने कहा कि शुरू के जो मेंबर शुरुआत में जो आए फाउंडिंग मेंबर से परमेश्वर गौर प्रभु, शिव वल्लभ प्रभु, नंद कुमार प्रभु, जगजीवन प्रभु, भीम माधव प्रभु, ये उस समय जो हम लोगों ने श्लोक सीख लिया था, कई माताजियों ने श्लोक सीखे थे, आज हमको बहुत काम आते हैं वो सब श्लोक प्रचार में और अपने जीवन में भी अभ्यास करने के लिए। क्या और वो ही नहीं है, केवल श्लोक के संस्कृत वाइब्रेशन को जो हम रोज गुनगुनाते हैं, इससे भी हमारे क्या मेमोरी में और दूसरे आध्यात्मिक प्रगति में कितना हमको फायदा मिल रहा है इससे। तो हमने सोचा कि अभी जो नई पीढ़ी आई है, वो भी श्लोका सीख रही है और जो नए लोगों को हम जोड़ रहे हैं, उनको भी और अच्छी तरह से क्या इसका लाभ देना चाहिए हमें। तो ये प्रोग्राम जो अभी शुरू होने वाला है, लॉन्च होने वाला है, इतना महत्वपूर्ण है। आप सब आप सबका सौभाग्य है, मेरा भी सौभाग्य है, क्या इसका अंश हम बन पाएँ, क्या जितना हो सके हम इसकी सेवा करें और हम भी एक विद्यार्थी की तरह और ज़्यादा हम सीख पाएँ इस प्रोग्राम से। श्लोका सीखना अति आवश्यक है, हमारे न केवल प्रचार के लिए नहीं, जैसे कहा हमारे जीवन में भी आध्यात्मिक प्रगति के लिए भी श्लोका बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारे लिए। भगवद गीता खास करके आई थिंक ये भगवद गीता भागवतम मिक्स होगा कि खाली गीता होगा? प्रभु, जय गोविंद प्रभु। हरे कृष्णा।
Prabhu, initially it will be Bhagavad Gita.
हाँ,
Yeah.
ठीक है। तो अभी अब जैसे कि हमारे यहाँ भक्ति शास्त्री कोर्स वगैरह हम करवाते हैं, मायापुर इंस्टीट्यूट से बड़े-बड़े प्रचारक आते हैं यहाँ कोर्स करवाने के लिए, तो हर एक कोर्स में कम से कम 20, 25, 40 श्लोक होते हैं जो हमको याद करना होता है। तो बहुत से भक्ति शास्त्री जो ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, उन्होंने भी श्लोका को माने मास्टरी कर ली है, इसको बिल्कुल माहिर बन गए हैं श्लोका बोलने में और प्रचार करने में। तो आप सब लोग भी अगर रुचि दिखाएंगे और बहुत इन्होंने सिंप्लीफाइड तरीका निकाला है, अभी आप सुनने वाले हैं, चिरंजीवी श्याम बताएंगे। इतना आसान तरीका श्लोक आप कैसे याद कर सकते हैं, मगर नित्यम भागवत सेवया जैसे है, वैसे नित्यम श्लोका रेसिटेशन होना चाहिए। अब आप देखिए फिर आपके जीवन में कैसे परिवर्तन, कैसे बदलाव आते हैं। क्या मैं ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कहूंगा। आप ये प्रोग्राम जब खुद अटेंड करेंगे और उसका फायदा उठाएंगे, तब आप दूसरों को भी प्रेरित करेंगे। हमारा लक्ष्य यही है कि आप फायदा उठा के दूसरों को प्रेरित करें, इस प्रोग्राम में ले आएं और सबको लाभान्वित करें इस श्लोका मास्टरी प्रोग्राम से। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Thank you, Tulsi Prabhu. Now I think Jagan Prabhu has started sharing his screen. Jagan Prabhu, over to you.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, all devotees. Sham Prabhu has asked me to speak something on the memorizing of shlokas. There are many, many ways. Elder generation of people used to memorize by writing it, the shlokas in the book. This is what I think Mani Prabhu also used to insist his students to do that. But nowadays we are getting out of the habit of writing. But still, if you can have that aptitude, you can still do that. That's one of the best way. There is one document that I've shared with the organizers. I'm sure that they will be putting these things into practice. This is about how to learn the shlokas. There are different ways told by different devotees. I'll just tell few things which I pick up from Nandakumar Prabhu. The way he used to teach shlokas, he used to ask us to remember the words in the shlokas, try to get the words that we already know, and try to separate the words that we do not know, and then focus on the words that we do not know and try to unpack and pack the shloka to get the meaning. So that's the way I learn the shlokas, because I'm not good at my memory skills are very weak. And so for me to understand the shloka, first I have to understand the meaning and the context and the words in it, and then mentally I can reconstruct the shloka when I'm speaking. That is one of the techniques that we can use. Try to learn the meaning of some of the Sanskrit and listen carefully in the class or pronunciation. This is my biggest learning and biggest fault. I really feel very bad that when people were finding faults with my pronunciation, I didn't care for that. I always used to think that no, pronunciation is not needed, that need not be considered much. But I regret later because now it's becoming very difficult for me to correct myself. Simple examples are putting extra matras. Na we pronounce when we don't pronounce the words which are having double matras. So those are the things is better to correct when we learn the shlokas beginning. I try. We should keep an open mind, even if somebody finds a fault. We should not feel bad. I used to feel bad, and that became my biggest enemy. Now I still chant some shlokas with very wrong pronunciation because I learned like that. And we can listen to the recordings of Srila Prabhupada. Now you can see how he quotes the verses. Sometimes he quotes the full verse, and sometimes he quotes half the verse and gets to the meaning. And regularly review the verses and try to learn. Have a time every day to chant the shlokas, to read the shlokas with your family, friends. And if you have a trouble in learning the shlokas alone, it'll be easier to with other devotee. The best way to remember shloka is the same way that we tell everybody. Once you learn a shloka, whenever you get a chance, you try to use that shloka. Either it in the class or it is for parents or friends or relatives, wherever. You just remind yourself about that shloka, and automatically that shloka becomes a part of your life. This is how I've learned few of the shlokas in my life. And most important, remember, since Krishna is the source of memory, we have limitless capacity to remember the verses. Only thing we need to try and put that effort. In some form of other, we can get it and try to enter the meaning of the verse and allow it to change your life. This is what I concentrate most. For me, this I think I've already told the organizers also. This must be one of the very important pillar of our program. Shloka by heart is good. Shloka by heart with pronunciation is very good, but the best is when we get the meaning of the verse and context of the verse, and that will allow us to change our life. And shloka will become a very integral part of our life. Those shlokas. And think of a topic and then immediately think of the verse related to the topic. Just like the way I try to demonstrate promotion, 927, difficulty, tatyanu kampam. And trying to see a difficult situation, 630. Yeah, like that, we can put our own selves and our own situations that we face in life, and how do we map those slokas. And when we do that ourselves, when others go through it, we can do that. And whenever we go to some place where we have to do a homage, remember the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam where Sri Krishna is told when he met his parents, Sarvartha Sambhavo Deho, like that, a few repository of shlokas that we can put. We can keep them or our pocket book shlokas we can recite whenever we want. And more we do, and more we'll relish. Just like the way more and more we do kirtan, more and more we relish doing it. And when people recognize us quoting shlokas in a relevant manner, proper manner, we get that enthusiasm to learn more. And nowadays it has become slightly more easy also to quote the shlokas because of the online medium. You can always have something reference for you to quote when you preach, but by hearting is the best way to do that. But even if you don't by heart, we have enough cues available for us to manage the situation. With this short note, I will conclude. Again, big thanks and very happy learning. 2021 should be the Sloka year for Damodar Desh, and I want to see a broad smile on Srivala Prabhu's face mid-year and at the end of, again, next year when we meet on 2022, just like the way we had the massive Kirtan festival. I request Sham Prabhu and Jagan Prabhu to organize a Shloka festival, Shloka Mahotsav, where Srila Prabhu will be sitting with his family and just listening to all its devotees, all the members of the Damodar Desh, how well they've taken up the Shloka competition, Shloka learning, and tuck, one by one family to other, they keep on reciting the shlokas, which should surprise him, and we should bring a broad smile on his face. And this is how we should please him. And by pleasing him, we are pleasing the yatra. And by pleasing the yatra, we'll be pleasing our founding father, Mahamani Krishna Prabhu, because shloka is his forte, and shloka is the virasat, the legacy that he has given to all of us. We always, every day, remember him. In this context, we can never ever take away from our heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jagjiv Jagannath Prabhu, Tulsi Govind Prabhu. Jai Govind Prabhu.
I would like to add a few words, what he said, Jagan Prabhu, about the art of learning shloka, how we picked up shlokas, I cannot forget. And can I, Prabhuji? Huh?
Yeah, 1-2 minutes.
या एक्चुअली देखिए, ये श्लोका को पहले मैं भी रट्टा लगाया करता था जब मैं नया नया आया था। हाँ, तो ठीक है, रट्टा लगाना अच्छा है, जैसे नर्सरी के स्टूडेंट्स जो है नर्सरी राइम्स वगैरह रट्टा लगाते हैं। फिर नंद कुमार प्रभु और वो हमारे जो शिक्षा गुरु थे, उन्होंने हमें सिखाया कि ये लोग जो श्रुतिधार हुआ करते थे, जो ठीक से श्रवण करते हैं, उच्चारण कर पाएंगे। तो श्लोका लर्निंग में एक तो उच्चारण करना नंबर 1, दूसरा होता है इसको याद रखना, हाँ, कंठस्थ नहीं करना बल्कि हृदयस्थ करना, क्या, उसके बाद उसके एक एक शब्द का मतलब जानना, फिर उसके पूरे श्लोक का मतलब जानना, और उसके बाद उसको प्रचार में और अपने जीवन में उसको लगाना। ये अलग अलग अंश हैं श्लोका को अपने लाइफ में यूज करने का। तो ये श्लोका, जैसे कि हम लोग सिनेमा के सॉन्ग बचपन में सुना करते थे, कि हम लोग कभी उसको पढ़ते नहीं थे, क्या, हम गीत कोई भी सुनते थे 2 बार 4 बार हमको याद हो जाता था। वो भी नहीं, हम सिनेमा के डायलॉग्स भी हम सुनते थे, वो भी हमको 2 बार 4 बार सुनते थे, हमको डायलॉग्स याद आ जाते थे। उसी प्रकार से ये कृष्णा के डायलॉग्स हैं, कृष्णा का गीत है, क्या, भगवत गीता, अगर इसको भी हम रेगुलर सुनेंगे और उसका उच्चारण करेंगे, तो एक दिन हम भी एक्सपर्ट हो जाएंगे इसमें, बहुत आसानी से हम इसको सीख पाएंगे और दूसरों को सिखा पाएंगे। बस इतना ही मैं थोड़ा ऐड करना चाहता था। बाकी ओवर टू यू शिवल्लभ प्रभु। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. I know that in the syllabus or in the agenda for today, there's quite a lot. So I just wanted to say a few things. पहला बात है, ये सब श्लोक, all these are in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is, the lipi is the same as Hindi. एक दो अक्षर जो है थोड़ा सा difference है. So those who are reading from Sanskrit, and even those who do not, who think that they cannot read from Sanskrit, it is important for us to try to learn Sanskrit as a part of the shloka. अलग संस्कृत सीखने का जरूरत ही नहीं है, श्लोका पढ़ेंगे, श्लोक का हर एक अर्थ भागवतम और भगवत गीता में पढ़ेंगे, we will start able to understanding quite a lot. Number 1. Now for those who can't read the Sanskrit, now if you have to read Sanskrit, the only difference is in Hindi the words are small, in Sanskrit the words are big. इसीलिए क्या होता है, सब 3-4 शब्द एक साथ मिलके देते हैं जो संधि हो जाता है. So we need to know how to slowly separate these words. Word to word meaning में देखेंगे तो you know how to separate it and how to pronounce it. So एक दो important aspects देखेंगे. Pronunciation guide will be posted to all of you, but a very simple one is a. So a तो सेम है, इंग्लिश में देखेंगे तो, पर ए के ऊपर एक लाइन जब आ जाता है जो डायक्ट्रिक्स होता है, उसको बोलते हैं आ, ई, राइट? दैट इज फर्स्ट चेंज टू बी मेड. और फिर दूसरा क ख, ग घ. सो ऐसे जब देखते हैं जी एच ए आता है घ, ख. सो इसका भगवान, बी एच ए होता है भगवान, ऐसा होता है. फिर इधर देखेंगे तो ट ठ थ ध ढ, ऐसे the what has to be pronounced based on the dot that you find below, the dot you find on top, the line that you find on top, इसके अनुसार एक दो बार आप प्रयत्न करेंगे तो आ जाएगा. पहला बात यही है. दूसरा बात समझना है कि जो कुछ भी ये संस्कृत का श्लोक है, they are all set to a rhythm. So एक जो जब सीखते हैं, even at that time when we learn, we have to learn the tune of how we are going to sing that particular shloka. And the shlokas are generally starting and it is in a particular rhythm and it is long. So sometimes even you pronounce it wrongly, you know that you're going a little out of the rhythm. These are other activities to see. So pronunciation guide is important for us to see. Then hearing is more important than reading. So when you hear, even first 1 or 2 times you are reading, that's okay, but slowly try to close your eyes, and if you make a mistake, no problem. Then write the shloka with your own hands. Though they're going to help you out with a very easy way by which you can have it. You can just, take a photo of it, keep it in your mobile. It's going to be so very easy on the app. But it is very easy for all of us to write if you can, and make small cards, put it in your pocket wherever you're traveling, wherever you go, pick it up, read. Every day, if you learn these two shlokas and keep repeating it, at the end of a week, repeat all the shlokas that you've learned. So, by repetition, when if we were young, we will remember it throughout our life, but once we are old, we will also forget it. Therefore, you need to keep always repeating and moving on. So, that is the basic thing. We will make it as simple as you will, the shloka is divided into 4 parts. We will first chant part A, the first quarter. You can repeat it 3 times, though in the recording we will repeat it once. And then part B, repeat it 3 times. Then we'll add A and B together, the first line. Then you'll get to repeat that. And then we go to second line, same, we will do it. And then we will chant the whole shloka. In that process, we'll be able to learn the shloka. Pronunciation is good. We may say pronunciation, what does he need? Srila Prabhupada himself stressed on the importance of pronunciation. Arth hi badal jata hai. The meaning itself changes if you don't pronounce it properly. So if we can, why not? Let's put the effort to make it perfect offering to Krishna. And once you learn a shloka, show it to everybody, tell everybody, and definitely go in front of the deity and chant it. Krishna, I learned this for you, and use it. Whatever you learn, use it in speaking about that shloka to somebody else. You will get it by heart. So, having said that, let's start on the journey. I'll leave it to the administrators to tell you how we are going to work on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Srivara Prabhu. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this orientation call for the Shloka course. We thank our 3 amazing devotees for taking us through a very nice introduction to the importance of Shloka, and more importantly, the importance of learning the Shloka. And so here we have a Sanskrit pronunciation guide. This guide will be sent on WhatsApp, so you don't need to worry. We'll be sharing this along with all the other shlokas, and the recordings we'll be sharing. Now, many of you have been reading and seeing the poster, reading the messages, joined the WhatsApp group, but many devotees are trying to understand how are we actually going to conduct the course. So we're just going to spend maximum 4 to 5 minutes on what we're planning on doing in this course. So how to participate in the course? First is to join the WhatsApp group, which many of you have done. But what we're requesting you to do additionally is please send this message across to those family and friends who are new to Krishna consciousness or even have been around for a while but want to learn shloka. So please do share the link with them. This is the link as below. You can take a picture and send it to everyone, or we have the poster circulating which you can use to share with everyone. So now what we'll be doing on these groups is we have 2 big groups now where we have quite a few people who have joined these groups. So every day we are going to share recordings of 2 to 3 verses maximum. And this recording will be of a high quality and it will be with pauses. So normally a shloka typically has 4 lines, and so these recordings will have pauses in between. So the first line will be chanted, then we'll have a pause where you'll be able to repeat the verse, and then the second line will be chanted. So in this way we will learn verses traditionally how we learnt verses even in Gurukul and in high school, in all these typical places. And so hearing these recordings and chanting along with them is the easiest way to learn these verses. And so then what we do is, as we're hearing the recording, we're also going to be sharing these wonderful shloka cards that we've designed for you. So if you see here, we're going to be sharing these shloka cards, which will have each verse, the Sanskrit portion of the verse, then we'll have the English diatrics, where you'll be seeing with the pronunciation, with the dashes. You don't have to worry too much about them. If you hear the recording, automatically you'll start to understand how these dashes, how these lines are pronounced. Along with them, with each line, we actually have a breakdown of what each line actually means. So you'll also be going deeper into what these Sanskrit words actually mean in the Bhagavad Gita. So by learning shlokas, first and most importantly, you're directly understanding what the words of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita are. But also, you're getting yourself to understand some of these Sanskrit verses and Sanskrit words. And so just learning these shlokas with the translation and the meaning, you'll have so much effect in your life where you'll be able to use these shlokas even for your activities. So every day we'll be sending 2 of these shloka cards and 2 verse recordings. All you have to do is open up the shloka card, listen to the first recording, chant along with it. Open up the second shloka card, listen to the recording, chant along with it. And now once you've done both of these and you've received the shloka card, what you can do is practice for 10 minutes. So go through the verse, look at the shloka card, and keep practicing. And what we've done very special, and this you can do on all your phones, is we are sending you this as pictures. So what I suggest that everyone does is please use this picture, set it as your phone screen wallpaper or your lock screen wallpaper. If you don't know how to do that, please do get in touch with us or get in touch with any younger members of your family also. They should easily be able to help you with that. In that, what happens is all you have to do is unlock your phone, and the first thing you see is this shloka card. So because of that, you keep looking at the shloka so many times, automatically it just completely absorbs in your brain. And so doing that, you're constantly looking at the shloka, and throughout the day, you're constantly practicing the shloka. Now, once you've done all of this, you've heard the recording, you've practiced the shloka, the best way to learn anything is to be able to teach it to your family, to your friends, to your children. Because once you teach something to someone, it sits in your brain, almost double the effect. And so teaching your friends, and this also, we're looking at an innovative way of teaching your friends and family. First thing is you can sit with them in the same room and you can of course teach it to them. But now with Corona, with COVID-19, we've made it also even more accessible where you can take a recording, video recording of yourself chanting the verse, share it through WhatsApp to your friends and family, and challenge them to learn the verse the same way that you did. And the third thing you can do is take the same video and share it on Facebook or Instagram or any social media. And then you can show all your friends and family around the world how you're taking on this new challenge of learning the shloka. And so if you're doing this, just by your inspiration, you'll inspire many other people to also learn these shlokas. But in the same time, you'll also brush up your knowledge of these shlokas. And of course, the last step, we can never fully master the shloka, but you'll at least get a good understanding how to pronounce the shloka, but also you'll get a good understanding of what this verse actually means. Now, getting to the real operational side of it, we have 2 optional assessments for everyone who is joining this course. The first objective is for those who are just firstly trying to learn to read the verses. And so for those trying to just read the shlokas, of course we have these Sanskrit shloka cards plus these Bhagavad Gita shloka cards which you can use to your aid, and you learn how to read the verses of the Bhagavad Gita to start with. I know many of us don't know or are not comfortable reading the verses directly. This course will help you to gain full comfort as to how to read a verse directly from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. The second step, or the higher step, is for those who are comfortable reading the shlokas, and you will gain comfort over just one chapter even. You can then move on to the shloka memory assessment, where we will be actually hearing you recite these verses from your memory, so it actually sticks in your head. And that's a wonderful way, a wonderful assessment for you to be able to memorize this shloka and keep the translation ingrained in your head for a very long time. So we will coordinate and communicate more information about these assessments further down the road. But for now, just so that you know, we'll be having these 2 types of assessments, which we'll have around 1 week from when we finish. So now, every day we'll be sending you 2 shloka cards, 2 recordings. You got to practice and try to keep up with these shlokas every day. We will be covering 1 chapter of the Bhagavad Gita within a span of a month. And so just doing this, for example, the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita has only 20 verses. So in just a 10-day period of daily doing this very simple activity, you can learn the full 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And so this is what we're aiming to give to you. So as mentioned before, please share these recordings with us on WhatsApp, on Instagram, Facebook, so we can also share it and inspire everyone how you're learning these shlokas. Just so that we can also continue to keep in touch with you and continue to help you in your shloka pronunciation, just to see how you're getting along, we are going to have a free Saturday clinic where it's completely open. We'll be sharing the Zoom, So every Saturday we'll have 1 hour around the afternoon time where you can just join and you can just post your questions or come and chant the shloka for all of us where we can watch you. It's just a very open, casual clinic where you can come and make sure you're able to brush up on your shloka chanting. So it's a clinic that you can join at your own leisure, but it will be between certain times on a Saturday, which we'll also communicate to you. So we will be having weekly shloka clinics for you to be able to come and ask us questions directly. Of course, all of us are fully available to also answer your questions. You can get in touch with us on WhatsApp. As I mentioned before, please share these shloka cards with your friends. Change your wallpapers on your phones with these shloka cards so you're constantly looking at them. So these are the kind of shloka cards we'll be sharing with you. So please do keep in touch with WhatsApp. The idea of this whole 15-day shloka challenge is to challenge yourself with this new year to be able to learn these shlokas. We're trying to find the most innovative ways that you can find the shloka learning journey very easy. So you don't even have to come and join a Zoom call anymore. Everything is coming directly to your phone on WhatsApp. All you have to do is log into your WhatsApp group, look at the shloka card, hear the recording, and continue this journey with us for a while. The first chapter that we'll be starting today is chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, which is called Purushottama Yoga. For those of you who attended our Essence of Gita course, this is such a critical chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The verses are relatively easy and the number of verses in this chapter are less. So like this, we will be taking you through almost all the chapters of the Bhagavad Gita throughout the year. So you can join these courses and you can get a really good understanding and knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita verses just being a part of this Mastering the Shloka course. So thank you all for listening. These are some of the operational sides of the course. For those who have not yet joined, this is the detail of the course. This is how you're going to participate. This is the link. If you just go on your phone and type bit.do/shloka anywhere, and then it'll open up for you to join a WhatsApp group, and we'll be sharing these details on WhatsApp every day. So just keep in touch. It's like a daily reminder. You don't need to join any call, you don't need to meet anyone. Right on your phone, you're getting direct recording of the verses and direct shloka cards. Thank you so much for listening. This is all from the operational side of the course.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I just wanted to add one point. Bhagavad Gita is 18 chapters, 700 shlokas. Now, it would be wonderful if all of us learn all these 700 shlokas, but there's no need to learn all these 700 shlokas. The purpose of this learning is two-pronged. To make it easy for you to read, number one, to know some important words and phrases is number two. But then we also want you to learn and memorize at least around 150 of the 700 verses. 150 only. That is, if you learn the 150 shlokas, it not only enriches your life, you can apply it in your life. When you speak to others, you can also speak to others. Like we say, like an advocate, when he goes to the court and he tells, "My lord, this particular person is not a criminal according to section so and so." Similarly, we will color code certain verses that are worth memorizing. So those verses, ideal that you should memorize them. And if you can, memorize the translation also verbatim and use it. And you can learn the translation in your mother tongue. You can learn it in English and in your mother tongue. Bhagavad Gita as it is available in all languages. So we can provide that to you. That said, let us all join in the journey. And at the end of every chapter, we will have a quick chanting competition. We want all of you to join and enjoy. And we will have prizes at the end of every chapter when people chant. Right? Let's become children and learn. Hare Krishna. Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you, Shivala Prabhu, and thank you, Chiran, for wonderfully explaining the entire process. So we look forward. You will be sending these links to your friends. What a wonderful way of having a resolution to learn the shloka. Let's start all our journey 2021 with learning the shloka resolution. Okay, without taking much time, we close it here. And whatever the queries you have, just post it on our WhatsApp group. We are always there to answer your queries. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Prabhu, I think we should have some helpline number. if in case people have a problem in joining the WhatsApp group, because I already seen some chat messages, we should give them some idea on whom to contact so that we can provide them some kind of a technical help to get through that problem.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Govind Prabhu, Jagjeev Jagannath Prabhu. I think we have gone beyond our scheduled time right now. We are jumping into another program also at this moment. So we will take it on. Today, before the end of the day, we will send out the first installment of 2 shlokas today to all of you. Hare Krishna.